Welcome, Cyclone fans, to another broadcast of Cyclones Athletics. It's Tuesday, September 30th, and we're here at Harlan Community High School gym, where your Cyclone Volleyball players are getting ready to take on the Panthers from Creston. Should be in for a good one here tonight in this Hawkeye 10 matchup. Cyclones entered tonight's match with an overall record of 14 match wins, 14 match losses, and in conference play they're 2-3. Meanwhile, overall Creston has 7 match wins, 8 match losses, and in conference play they're 3-3. Creston sits 5th in the Hawkeye 10. Meanwhile, the Cyclones are sitting 8th. Two very comparable teams here tonight in terms of they have a variety of hitters. Each team has about 5 different hitters that they can go to, so difficult to shut any one person down as the setter has multiple options to go to. Each team serving at about a 90% efficiency clip. So very evenly matched teams. And when you have that, it gets down to one main statistic, and that's unforced errors. How many points are you just giving the other team by hitting balls into the net, out of bounds, letting balls hit the floor, things of that nature. So that's one thing that we'll be keeping track of as the match progresses, and hopefully the Cyclones can get some freebie points by the Panthers. And we're getting ready now to meet the players from both squads here momentarily. Starters for Creston. Number 1, Cadley Bailey, a 5'7" setter. Number 2, Harlan, a 5'7" outside hitter. She's got 90 kills on this season. Number 3, JC Hansen, a 5'8" outside hitter, leading the way with 98 kills. Number 4, Ella Turner, 5'7" outside hitter. Number 5, Bailey Picorni, a middle hitter, senior. Number 9, Hope Henderson, a middle hitter. And their libero, number 11, Avery Staver. And now for the Cyclones. Number 6, Hope Preston. She's a right side hitter for the Cyclones. Number 7, Addison Wicks. She's a outside hitter for the Cyclones. Number 9, Ellery Nelson. She's a defensive specialist and outside hitter. Number 10, Kate Kesters, one of the Cyclone setters. Number 11, Aubrey Wegner, a middle hitter for the Cyclones. Carly Goshorn, another middle hitter for the Cyclones. And number 2, Carly Tornaton, the libero for the Cyclones.
Programming on HLTV Channel 15 has been brought to you by Pizza Ranch in Harlan, Do It Best Hardware, The Agency in Harlan,
Hamilton Financial Services, Fairway in Harlan, Hanson House Senior Living. Experience life, experience Hanson House.
Western Iowa Medical, providing outstanding service and the highest quality medical equipment and supplies in Western Iowa.
United Bank of Iowa, the difference is here, member FDIC.
Polly Jones Funeral Home, longtime supporter of Harlan Community Athletics and events.
Murtu Medical Center, committed to you, committed to our community.
Murtu Medical Center, physical therapy and rehab services.
Peterson Family Wellness Center and Lewis Family Aquatic Complex. Live well.
Patriots Choice Contracting, Harlan, Iowa, building for future generations.
Cyclone Scenic Chemical, build a bigger bin.
Dr. J's Family Eye Care, longtime supporter of Cyclone Sports in Harlan.
Family Service Community, SCSB.
Keast Auto Center, proudly serving Southwest Iowa for over 31 years.
Conducting Swampler is a proud supporter of the Harlan community, education, and student activities. We move your business forward.
Cyclone Lanes, great family entertainment, including bowling, sandwiches, and homemade buttercrust pizzas.
And we're getting ready to go here from Harlan Community High School gym. Creston did win the coin flip, and they elected to have the first serve. So they'll serve first here in set 1. Will be number 1, Cadley Bailey, to serve for Creston. It'll be a free ball over by the Cyclones. Tip at the net, dug by Kesters. Cyclones keeping it alive. Now it's Wicks. She tips at the net. And that is number 2, Reek, for Creston. She's only 5'7", but she's got some pretty good form on her attack. And that's Hope Preston, and that's going to be 4 hits. As she hit one into the net there, and Creston is going to take the early lead, 1-0. Bailey for her second serve of the rotation. Wicks now from the outside, and that's down the line and good. Addie Wicks, one of the seniors, getting the Cyclones on the board and tying things up at 1 apiece. And one of your Cyclone seniors rotates back to serve. That's Carly Tornaton. Tornaton, the libero for the Cyclones. From the middle hitter position, that is number 2, Harlan Reek, their second leading hitter with 90 kills on the season. That gives Creston a 2-1 lead. Libero number 11, Avery Staver, back to serve now for the Panthers. Kate Kesters is going to set up Hope Preston. And that's down the line, and number 3, J.C. Hansen, couldn't come up with the dig. So nice kill there by Hope Preston, and she ties things up at 2 apiece. Into the Cyclone rotation is number 15, Taylor Hazy, and number 8, Kinsley Bruck. A little bump set over to the outside hitter, and there is a block over on the far side by number 11, Aubrey Wegner, giving the Cyclones the point and lead at 3-2. Hazy with her second serve of the rotation. And one's just kind of dumped over by the setter. That's Cadley Bailey finding the open donut there in the Cyclones defense. And that's going to tie things up at 3 apiece. Tip at the net by Wegner. Back row attack. And that is number 2, Harlan Reek. Again, we talked about her in the pregame, only at 5'7", but she's able to get up in the air and has got some good form on her swing, as she's their second leading attack player for the Panthers. And there is Addison Wicks. She had a kill from the outside, and now she, through the rotation, goes over to the right side and has a kill from both spots in a rotation, and that ties things up at 4 apiece. And then there's a service error on Harlan Community as it goes long out of bounds. (5-4) Creston with the lead. They're going to go to the outside hitter, number 3, J.C. Hansen, their leading hitter on the season with 98 kills. And that gives Creston a 6-4 lead. There's another one. That's 2 by Cadley Bailey, the setter. 2 kills by the setter, is finding that open spot in the Cyclone defense and just sets it across the net for a kill. And it's 7-4 Panthers. Aubrey Wegner has one, and Creston can't run it down. Little mistimed jump, but Wagner gets enough on it. He gets the Cyclones a point. (7-5) is the score in favor of Creston. Hansen on the attack, and now it's going to be Bruck. Nice little rally going on here by both teams. And it's going to be 4 touches on the Cyclones. 8-5 is the score. Panthers to serve. There's number 4, Ella Turner. There's going to be a kill by number 12, Carly Goshorn. Kind of rolled along the tape and fell on Creston's side of the net for our Harlan Community Cyclone point. And they're back within 2 at 8-6. And Kate Kesters rotates back to serve. Attack there by number 5, Picorni. And Cyclones doing a nice job of keeping it alive. It'll be a free ball over by the Cyclones. Creston in system. And there's a mistime attack by Picorni. It's going to be an unforced error on Creston. And Cyclones are now within 1 at 8-7. Kesters with the serve. A nice block at the net, as that was J.C. Hansen having her attack blocked. And we're now tied up at 8 apiece here in set number 1. They're going to say that was pancaked, and they're overturned it, hit the ground. And now the referees, they have electronic communication. They got little microphones talking to each other, and it was the right call. Hit the ground. So that's going to be the 3rd kill by the setter of Creston. Cyclones got to tighten up that donut there in the middle, and there's a nice attack by Goshorn, giving the Cyclones a point, and we're tied up at 9 apiece. Hillary Nelson now serving for Harlan Community. And there's a block at the net and then goes out of bounds. Again, that's Holland Reek with the swing and kill. She gives Creston the lead now 10-9. A little back set to Hope Preston. And Hope Preston with the kill. 10-10. Things are tied back up here at Harlan Community High School gym in this Hawkeye 10 matchup. Carly Tornaton now serving for the Cyclones. A little back row attack. And that's going to end up being a point as number 3, J.C. Hansen, came out of the back row for Creston. 11-10 Panthers is the score. Cyclones are going to go to Wegner with the tip at the net. And then one is hit down the line by number 4, Ella Turner. And Creston gets the point, and they now lead by 2, 12-10. Avery Staver, the libero, back to serve for Creston. Hope Preston, the Cyclones' leading hitter, gets another kill for the Cyclones from that right side. Taylor Hazy into the rotation to serve for Harlan Community. And there was a little bit of an overpass, and the setter, Cadley Bailey, couldn't quite get it set back off the net far enough, and number 4, Ella Turner, had nowhere to go with it. So it's an unforced error point by Creston, and the Cyclones tie things up at 12 apiece. Kinsley Bruck with the attack, and it's going to be Kinsley Bruck with the kill. And the Cyclones now lead 13-12. Hazy at the service line. Nice dig in the back row by Carly Tornaton. Be pushed over by the Cyclones. Free ball over by Creston. Cyclones in system. Wegner just missed on that one. Bruck with the roll shot over. Reek gets one over for the Panthers. Wicks now hits one down the line. Creston doing a nice job of hustling on their side of the net, but can't keep it alive, and it's a Cyclone point, and they now lead by 2, 14-12 Harlan Community. Hazy with the serve. Free ball over by Creston. Cyclones in system, get it to Wagner. She just kind of tipped it at the net, and one's hammered down by probably the smallest hitter on the court out there, number 2, Holland Reek. She's got 3 or 4 kills already here in set 1 for the visiting Panthers, and she rotates back to serve. Nice attack there on the short set by Wegner. And then there's a point by Creston, but they're going to say Creston was in the net. No, Cyclones are in the net. Up. So they're going to say Creston won the point, but Creston was in the net. So the Cyclones end up with the point, and that's an unforced error by Creston. Each team has 3 of those here in the first set, and it's 15-13 Cyclones. Number 3, J.C. Hansen with the attack for Creston. 15-14 Cyclones. On a little slide move, that was Wegner, and hers attack went into the net and doesn't quite get over, and that's going to tie things up at 15 apiece. That was Taylor Hazy trying to set one to Kinsley Bruck that got away from her and went back behind the antenna out of play. So it will be Creston point and the lead at 16-15. There's a hitting error on the Cyclones, one going long. 17-15 Creston. So Creston is gone from 2 down to 2 up here in the last 4 points. And there's one from the middle position, number 4, Ella Turner. And now Creston is up 18-15. And Coach Brown wants to take a timeout, and we're going to take one with them and thank some fine sponsors for making this live broadcast come to you here tonight from Harlan Community High School Gym. Those sponsors being Pizza Ranch here in Harlan, United Bank of Iowa, Western Iowa Medical, Conductix Wampler, Murtu Medical Center, KNOD Radio, Cyclone Lanes, Keast Auto Center, Shelby County State Bank, Hanson House Senior Living, Paulie Jones Funeral Home, Murtu Medical Center, Physical Therapy and Rehab Services, Fairway in Harlan, Do It Best Hardware, The Agency Insurance, Dr. J's Family Eye Care, Cyclone Seed and Chemical, Hamilton Financial Services, Patriots Choice Contracting, and the Peterson Family Wellness Center and Lewis Family Aquatic Complex. So thank you to those fine folks. Out of the timeout, the score is Creston 18, Harlan Community 15 here in set 1 of this Hawkeye 10 volleyball match. And the serve out of the timeout is out of bounds, giving Harlan Community the point. Creston still leads 18-16. And Aubrey Wegner rotates back to serve for the Cyclones, and she serves one out of bounds. Unforced error points by both teams back-to-back there. 19-16 is the score. Creston with the lead. Mans with the dig from the back row, and now Nelson with the kill. Ellery Nelson with the point. 19-17. Cyclones within 2 here in set number 1. Kate Kesters rotates into the Cyclone lineup and to the service line. And she sends one into the net. Cyclones are playing pretty clean volleyball there with only 3 unforced error points until it was about 15 all, and then the Cyclones started to give points away. The good news is the exact same thing's happening with Creston. They're starting to have some unforced error points themselves as it's 20-18 Creston. Nelson with the serve. They're going to go outside, and there's a tip at the net. Nice block by the Cyclones. Creston in system, and there's a missed time hit by Harlan Reek and gives the Cyclones the point. 20-19, Creston by 1. Cyclones trailed by as many as 3, 19-16. And there's a point at the net with a tip, and Creston takes a 2-point lead, 21-19. With number 1, Cadley Bailey, back to serve for the Panthers. There's a little overpass, but it was Kate Kesters keeping it alive Reek roll shots it over, gets caught in the net. See if the Cyclones can free ball it over. They do. In system is Creston. Hope Preston on the cross-court kill attempt. And the Cyclones get the point. 21-20. Cyclones trail by 1 with Carly Tornaton at the service line. Tip at the net, and the Cyclones close up their defense. And that's Hope Preston. Preston with the kill. And it is tied up at 21 apiece here in set number 1. Tornaton to serve for the lead here late in set 1 with a score of 21-21. Little back row attack dug by Nelson. They're going to get it to Wicks. Over to Reek. And Reek, the 5'7" hitter, puts one down for her 5th kill of the first set. And Creston takes a 22-21 lead over the Cyclones. Little overpass by Creston. And that's their 7th unforced error point. So each team giving up 7 unforced error points to the other. And we have a tied game as well. So 7 unforced error points apiece. And the score is 22 points apiece. As we're closing in on this first set where you go to 25, win by 2. And one, that's the 3rd or 4th point by the setter, but that one had some luck there. It hit the tape and rolled around for a little bit and then fell over. And Creston takes the lead at 23-22, and Coach Brown wants to take her 2nd timeout of set number 1. So let's talk things over here a little bit. It's Hawkeye 10 volleyball between the Creston Panthers and the Harlan Community Cyclones. Creston comes into the contest with a record of 7-8. Cyclones are 14-14 on the season. And right now, deep into set 1, the score is Creston 23, Harlan Community 22. As we come out of the timeout, it will be Creston serving. Coach Brown's taking every second she can out of the timeout and see if we can disrupt the momentum that Creston has. It's number 2, Holland Reek, back to serve for the Panthers. Tornaton tries keeping that one alive, and it's a free ball over by the Cyclones. Creston in system, and there's one in. That's number 4, Ella Turner. And it's set point 24-22 for the Panthers. Little overpass on the serve receive. Free ball over by the Cyclones. Creston in system. They just tip one over at the net. They're going to go outside to Wicks. Her cross-court attack is Doug. Reek from the back row gets it over for the Panthers. Tipped by Wegner. And they're going to be in the net, and it's number 11, Wegner, for the Cyclones, which will give Creston the point and set number 1 win by a score of 25-22. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more volleyball action. You're watching Cyclone Activities on HLTV Channel 15.
How do you top Pizza Ranch's legendary cheesy ranch sticks? Any way you want. Get a load of these. Our new loaded cheesy ranch sticks are now topped with an extra layer of flavor, skillet crust, melty cheese, herbs and spices, and up to 2 of your favorite toppings. They're the ultimate appetizer on the buffet or on the go. Don't you just love that new menu item smell? Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
At Polly Jones Funeral Home, compassion is our foundation. As a proud family-owned and operated business, we understand that during times of loss, empathy and understanding make all the difference. Our dedicated professionals, rooted in family values, are here to answer your calls and address your questions and concerns. With 3 locations in Harlan, Avoca, and Denison, we're available whenever and wherever you need us to provide customized services for every family we serve. Polly Jones Funeral Home, proudly serving our communities for over 90 years.
You've worked hard to achieve success. You deserve a financial advisor that works as hard for you. At Hamilton Financial Services, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, we have the qualifications and the experience to help navigate your complex financial needs. Whether it's investment management, tax strategies, or legacy planning, we can work with you to help grow and preserve what you've worked so hard to achieve. Contact Dylan Hamilton today at 712-784-5500.
How do you game? Do you shoot your shot? Do you go for the goal? Or throw the high cheese? Whatever you do, our goal at Murtu Physical Therapy is to keep you in the game. Murtu Physical Therapy. Game on.
Welcome back, Cyclone fans. Getting ready for set number 2. Creston, the visiting Panthers, took set number 1 from the Cyclones by a score of 25-22. It'll be Harlan Community to serve here first in set number 2. Be number 15, Taylor Hazy, to serve. Nice dig in the back row there by Mans. Creston keeping it alive. Little roll shot over by the Panthers. And now Nelson, an attack at the net. Reek with the roll shot. Nice volley going on here by both teams. Nice dig in the back row by Mans. And there's one long out of bounds. Creston with the point. And it's number 1, Cadley Bailey, serving for the Panthers. Roll shot over by Nelson, was partially blocked at the net. Wegner up to try and hammer one and mistimes the set there. The point goes to Creston and they lead 2-0. Creston from the outside hitter position hits one cross court and wide. 3-0. Panthers is the score. A roll shot over and that one hit the antenna. So that hit the antenna, so that's out of bounds. So it's a Creston point. They lead 4-0. Nice block at the net by Wegner. Creston keeping it alive. Tipped by Nelson. And it was the Cyclones in the net, and it's 5-0 Panthers. Wegner with the kill. Aubrey Wegner with the point. Gets the Cyclones on the board. 5-1 Panthers is the score. Hillary Nelson rotates back to serve for Harlan Community. Nice block at the net by Wicks. Can be 2 touches is the call on Creston. Unforced error point on Creston, giving the Cyclones the point, and it's 5-2 Panthers. And that attack is long, out of bounds. Giving Harlan Community the point, and they're back within 2 at 5-3. Nice block at the net by Wegner. He got kept alive there by Creston. They're in system, and now a back row attack. And that's going to be a kill by number 3, J.C. Hansen, from the back row. 6-3, Creston with the lead. Nice hustle there by the Cyclones on that serve receive. Cyclones are going to get outside to Wicks. Wicks's attack is blocked. Creston is going to go right back to that back row hitter, Hansen. The Cyclones can't pick up the dig there, and it's 7-3 Creston. Avery Staver, the libero, and she hits one into the net for an unforced error point given up by Creston, and it's 7-4 Harlan Community. On the attack, it goes long, out of bounds. 4 unforced error points given up by both teams. And the Cyclones are back within 2 at 7-5. Hope Preston on the cross-court attack, dug in the back row by the Panthers. Cyclones are going to go back to Preston. And she hits one down and gets the Cyclones the point, and back within 1 at 7-6. And there is number 1 again, the setter, Cadley Bailey. Just sets it across the net for a kill by the setter. She had about 3 of those, or 4 in the first set. And got one there, and it's 8-6 Creston. Preston with the attack, but it goes into the net. 9-6 Panthers. Wicks with the attack. Dug in the back row by Creston, and then one's hit long. Out of bounds by the Panthers. 10-7. Creston still with the lead. Or excuse me, 9-7. 9-7 Creston. They have the lead by 2. Cyclones trying to keep this one in play. Kester's with the free ball over. And there was a touch. Well, they're not calling it, but looks like there was a touch at the net. Creston's kind of calling for it, but the officials and line judge say didn't see it. So the Cyclones get the point, and they're back within 1 at 9-8. There's a nice block at the net. And the Cyclones have come from 4 down to tying things up at 9 apiece here in set number 2. Kate Kester's serving for the Cyclones. Hansen on the kill goes off the Cyclone block, out of bounds. Creston gets the point, and they regain the lead at 10-9. Cyclones go outside to Hazy. And some wild hits there as it was ricocheted off the speaker system. And then there, that's Addie Wick's attack that gets blocked at the net and comes down on the Cyclones' side of the floor for a Panther point, and now they lead again by 2 at 11-9. A little short set to Goshorn. You go outside to Hansen and off the Cyclone block, out of bounds. Creston point, 12-9. Creston had the lead by 4 a couple different times at 5-1 and 7-3, and the Cyclones came back and tied things up at 9 apiece. Now Creston has mounted another 3-point lead at 12-9. That one hits the net and antenna, which has it be out of bounds, giving the Cyclones the point there. Unforced error, point number 5, given up by Creston. And it's 12-10. Cyclones trailing. Service error on the Cyclones, long, out of bounds, 13-10. Creston. And there's a service error by Creston. In the first set, it was 25-22 Creston. Cyclones gave up 8 unforced error points. Creston gave up 7. And we're halfway through set number 2, and each team's almost given up that same amount of unforced error points. So things are getting a little out of system here by both teams. In set number 2, we'll see excuse me, which team can kind of clean things up here a little bit and pull to victory. In set 2, that's number 2, Harlan Reek with the roll shot kill. (14-11). Cyclones trail by 3. Hazy with the cross-court attack. And there's a unforced error by number 2, Harlan Reek. 14-12, Creston by 2. Hazy to serve, and that is inbound for an ace. Ace serve by Hazy, and the Cyclones are within one at 14-13. There's a kill by number 2, Harlan Reek. 15-13 Creston. Going to be Hope Preston on the cross-court attack. And now from the back row, Hansen. And the Cyclones can't get that one dug on the back row kill from number 3, J.C. Hansen, and it's 16-13 Creston. Wegner on the slide move for the Cyclones. Nice job there by Hope Preston, just pushing it over into the block of Creston. It comes down on their side of the net for a Cyclone point, 16-14. Cyclones have not led in set number 2 at all, and there's another unforced error point by Harlan Community, given up. 17-14 Creston. A roll shot by Wegner that hits the net and off the block, comes back on the Cyclone side of the court, giving the Panthers the point and a 4-point lead at 18-14. And I don't think Coach Brown's going to let things get too much further before she uses a timeout. We need a side out here. And there's it's 19-14. And sure enough, there is the timeout by Coach Brown to try and break the momentum that Creston has going here. Somewhat late in set number 2. Cyclones were down 4 early at 5-1, battled back into things and tied things up at 9 apiece, and then got down by 4 again at 14-10, battled back within 1 at 14-13, and since then it's been a 5-point run by Creston, a 5-0 run. Or 5-1, excuse me, where it's now 19 for Creston, 14 for Harlan Community. Serving for the Panthers, number 11, Avery Staver, their libero. And there's one that's long out of bounds. Service error by Creston. That's their 8th unforced error point given up. And it's 19 for Creston, 15 for Harlan Community. And Aubrey Wegner back to serve for the Cyclones. There was a tip at the net by Creston, and it's just wide outside of the line, giving Harlan Community the point. 19-16, Harlan Community within 3. And there's another point by the setter. Number 1, Cadley Bailey. Just sets it across the net for a setter kill. And they get the lead back to 4 at 20-16. Hansen from the outside. Now Wicks with the tip, and Creston can't keep it alive there at the net. So the point goes to Harlan Community, trailing 20-17. Kester sends it over from the service line. And now the Cyclones can't keep it alive. Just an unforced error over there. Hazy had a little bad angle on it, hits it into the net. Unforced error point number 9. 21-17. Cyclones trail. Goshorn with the tip. Now Hansen hammers one down, and it's a kill for the leading hitter for the Panthers, J.C. Hansen. And it's 22-17. Cyclones on the attack. Creston now in the back row. Hit by Reek. And it's going to be a kill by Hazy from that right side position. 22-18. Cyclones within 4. Avery Manns now serving for the Cyclones. Little roll shot over by Hansen. Cyclones in system. Goshorn, she hits it wide out of bounds. 23-18. And Coach Brown wants to take her second time out of the set. And we'll kind of talk about where we're at with things here in the overall match. In set number 1, Cyclones were defeated by the Panthers, 25-22. Pretty good clean set there in the first one. In the second one, the score is Creston 23, Harlan Community 18. Cyclones have not led in this match. They were able to tie things up at 9 apiece. But leading up to that and after that, Creston has maintained the lead. Again, we're going to first one to 25, win by 2. Out of the timeout, it will be number 9, Hope Henderson, serving for the Panthers. And hopefully that timeout break by Coach Brown got her maybe a little out of rhythm and will serve one maybe longer in the net. She doesn't, and it's the Cyclones on the attack. It's going to be a free ball over by Creston. Cyclones now in system. Ellery Nelson on the cross-court attack. Kate Kesters pushes one over for the Cyclones. Roll shot over by Reek. It was the setter trying to catch the Cyclones off guard again, and there's Goshorn who hits one long out of bounds. 24-18, Creston with the lead. Set point here for Creston. And that's Ellery Nelson, where the set to her was just over her head. She couldn't get a handle on it. And that's going to be set number 2 that goes to Creston by a score of 25-18. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with set number 3. You're watching Cyclone Volleyball on HLTV, Channel 15.
If you grill it, he will come. Hey.
Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
Harlan Do It Best is your best source for friendly service, expert advice, and innovative products. Whether you need to build it, paint it, fix it, or grill it, we have it all. Our full-service paint department, utilizing Valspar paints, can match any color for your interior and exterior painting projects. Check out our new Diablo tool aisle for all power tool accessories needed for your home improvements. Make grilling easy with our full selection of grills and grilling supplies. Harlan Do It Best, conveniently located at 1810 Chatburn Avenue in Harlan.
At United Bank of Iowa, the difference is here. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 59 and Pine Street in Harlan, you'll always find a smiling face to greet you and help you with all your banking needs. We offer competitive rates on deposits and loans, and the latest in technology with our online and mobile products. Come and find out for yourself why the difference is here at United Bank of Iowa. Member FDIC.
Welcome back, Cyclone fans. Getting ready for set number 3 here from Harlan Community High School Gym. Your Cyclones taking on the Panthers from Creston. Cyclones were defeated in set 1, 25-22. And defeated in set number 2 also by a score of 25-18. And here we are in set 3. With number 1, Cadley Bailey. Back to serve for the Panthers. There's a cross-court kill by number 2, Harlan Reek, to give Creston the first point of set number 3. That one's going to be long, out of bounds. Unforced error given up by Creston, and Harlan Community ties things up at 1 apiece with the free point serve out of bounds. Taylor Hazy now serving for the Cyclones. And there's an ace serve by Hazy. And the Cyclones lead 2-1. And that one's out by Hazy, so things are tied back up at 2 apiece. Avery Staver back to serve now for Creston. There's an overpass by the serve receive of the Cyclones. That gives Creston the point, 3-2. Wagner with the kill from the middle hitter position. That ties things up 3-all. Ellery Nelson serves for the Cyclones. Nice block at the net by Wagner. And then she keeps it alive on the pass over. Then from the middle hitter position, that is number 2, Harlan Reek with the point. And Reek back to serve now for the Panthers. Wagner with the attack from the middle hitter position, had it blocked. And then Nice job there by Aubrey Wegner with the tip and point for the Cyclones. And we're all tied up at 4 apiece early here in set number 3. It's Addie Wicks put a hit on one, but it went into the net for an unforced error point given up by the Cyclones. And Creston takes the 1-point lead, 5-4. Goshorn hits one long out of bounds. 6-4 Creston. Hope Preston hits one wide out of bounds. 7-4 Panthers. And the Cyclones all in a bunch there and couldn't get it popped up in the air to get over the net. And that's Coach Brown taking a timeout. And we'll take them one with her. We'll be right back. You're watching Cyclone Volleyball on HLTV, Channel 15.
Hanson House Senior Living. Experience life, experience Hanson House.
Listen to 105.3 KNOD. KNOD covers local, state, and world news. KNOD covers your favorite local high school sports, the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Chicago Cubs. KNOD covers Brownfield Ag News programs. KNOD plays the hits you want to hear from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. KNOD has great advertising rates for your business. Call 800-876-KNOD for more info. 105.3 KNOD.
Welcome back, Cyclone fans. Out of the timeout, the score is Creston 8, Harlan Community 4. And that one is outside the antenna. Unforced error point given up, number 6 by the Cyclones. And it's 9-4 Creston with a 5-point lead. Hope Preston, she hits one into the net. 10-4 Creston. Creston in system, going to go to Hanson, their leading hitter, and she gets the point, and it's 11-4. Creston by 7. That's the largest lead here in set 3 and in the night by either team. Goshorn finally stops the Creston momentum and gets the kill and point. 11-5. Creston leads. Kate Kesters to serve. Hansen with the tip, and the Cyclones can't keep that one alive, so it's a point for the Panthers. 12-5. The lead gets back to 7. And there's a serve that's long, out of bounds. Unforced error, point number 2 given up by the Panthers. And it's 12-6. Cyclones trailing on the scoreboard. Avery Manns with the serve for the Cyclones. And there's one long and wide out of bounds by Briley Picorni, the senior hitter. 12-7 Creston. Cyclones just free ball it over. Now it's Hansen with the kill for Creston. 13-7 was the score. Creston with the lead, and number 3, J.C. Hansen, back to the service line for the visitors, and she hits one right into the net, giving the Cyclones the free point. 13-8. Cyclones got to get something going here at this stage in set 3. Trailing by 5 and down 2-0. It's the best of 3. And at the net, it's Hazy getting it over in the point. 13-9. Cyclones need to chip away at this lead. Take the lead and take set 3 to stay in this match. They're down 2-0. Tornaton with a nice serve. At the net, it was Reek, blocked by Wegner. Cyclones tip it over by Nelson, and now Hansen hits one wide out of bounds. Another unforced error by Creston. Another point for Harlan Community. They were down 7 and now only down 3, 13-10. See if Tornaton can service another point here. That was number 5, Braley Picorni, with the kill and point for Creston. 14-10, Creston by 4. And it should have been 4 touches. Cyclones just tipped that one into the net and got away with it. Nice little rally going on here by both teams. Nelson hits one over for the Cyclones. They're going to go to Reek, and Reek hits one. And that's a point for Creston on the kill, 15-10. There's one, a point for the Cyclones as Hazy's attack goes off the Creston block out of bounds. 15-11. Cyclones trail by 4. Taylor Hazy rotates back to serve for the Cyclones. Hope Preston winds up. She gets a little roll shot for the Cyclones. Reek does one of her own. Free ball over by the Cyclones. See what team can get in system first. There's one. It's hit long, out of bounds by Reek, giving the Cyclones the point. The Cyclones within 3 at 15-12. And Harlan Community takes a timeout. Carly Tornaton records her 500th dig of her career.
Cyclone Lanes in Harlan is your total family fun entertainment center. Known for our homemade buttercrust pizza, we also offer great burgers and a variety of other sandwiches and sides, all available to eat in or carry out. Cyclone Lanes is available for birthday parties, company outings, and church youth groups. Laser bowling starts on Friday and Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. We invite you to come enjoy some fun family entertainment and great food at Cyclone Lanes in Harlan.
Family, service, community. At SCSB, we put our values front and center in everything we do. That means offering incentives and education to help young people start strong financial habits early, supporting our local ag producers and small businesses with the financing they need to succeed, and giving help where and when the community needs it, because we want you to know that we're there for you when you need it. Start your financial future with SCSB, your financial partner for every stage of life.
At Keist Auto Center, it's our mission to be the automotive home of Ford, Chevy, and GMC drivers in Southwest Iowa. Conveniently located just off Highway 59 in Harlan, we provide a vast selection of new and used vehicles, exceptional car care, and always deliver customer service with a smile. As your hometown auto dealer, we strive to make every transaction an easy one. Call or stop by today to get in touch with a member of our team and let us know how we can serve you today. Keist Auto Center, proudly serving Southwest Iowa for over 31 years.
Nice recognition there for Carly Tornaton, senior libero, with her 500th dig. So we'll see if Taylor Hazy can serve the Cyclones a point, and that's long, out of bounds. 16-12, Creston. Nice dig there by Avery Manns. Back row attack by Hansen. Cyclone's going to get it to Nelson. And that's going to be one that's just hit right into the net by Creston, giving the Cyclones the point, and they're within 3, 16-13. Ellery Nelson rotates back to the service line. And a point there for Creston with the kill, 17-13. Reek with the serve for the Panthers. Wegner off the short set. Cyclones keeping it alive. Now here's Wicks, hits one down the line, dug by Reek for the Panthers. Hansen on the cross-court kill, and there's Carly Tornate doing a nice job with the dig. Free ball over by the Cyclones. One tipped at the net. We'll see what we can get here. It's going to be Hope Preston with a nice cross-court attack. And after the long rally, it's the Cyclones coming up with the point, 17-14. Within 3. It's Aubrey Wegner rotating back to serve for the Cyclones. Reek from the back row for Creston. Creston in system again. Going to go to Hanson, and it's blocked. It's blocked from Hope Preston, giving the Cyclones the point. 17-15. Harlan Community within 2. They keep things rolling here in set number 3 as they're down 2-0, and it's Aubrey Wegner sending it over the net, and that one's long and wide out of bounds. That's unforced error, point number 9 for Harlan Community. And it's 18-15. Creston by 3. There's a service error by the Panthers. Thank you very much. That's Nora Barton that serves one out of bounds. Be Kate Kesters serving for the Cyclones. 2-point deficit for Harlan Community, 18-16. And there's one off the block. That's number 9, Hope Henderson with the point. 19-16, Harlan Community. Trailing by 3. And now we're whistled ready for play. Number 9, Hope Henderson back to serve for the Panthers. And here's Goshorn with the kill on a little slide move. Kind of mistimed it a little bit, but was able to get enough on it and across the net in the point. 19-17. Cyclones down by 2. Avery Manns at the service line. Hanson on the cross-court kill, and that's Hazy. They can't quite get that attack dug, and it will give the point to Creston. 20-17. Cyclones trail by 3. J.C. Hanson, one of the seniors for Creston, serving. Ellery Nelson's going to send one over, but hits it into the net. Unforced error number 10 given up by the Cyclones, and it's 21-17. Cyclones trailing. Nice attack there by Goshorn. And then it's number 1, Hadley Bailey, that pushes it over the net, but a little too far out of bounds, giving the Cyclones the point. 21-18. Creston. Tornaton to serve. Nelson pushes it over for the Cyclones. There's the middle hitter, number 5, Picorni. She records the kill and point, and it's 22-18 Creston. Cyclones down 4. Short set to Wegner. And Aubrey Wegner with the kill and point. 22-19, Cyclones within 3. And there's going to be number 2, Holland Reek, that tries tipping one across the net, but instead tips it right into the net. Unforced error, point number 8 by Creston, and it's 22-20. Cyclones trail by 2. Cyclones got to get a point here, and it's Aubrey Wagner. And they go to Wagner, and they get the point. Cyclones within 1, 22-21. See if Creston decides to use a timeout here soon. Cyclones have battled back from down 4 here at 21-17. Pushed over by Creston. Cyclones in system. They're going to go to senior Hope Preston. Creston keeping it alive, and now from the back row, that's Hanson. Ellery Nelson with the roll shot over. And a tip at the net by number 2. Harlan Reek saw the block in front of her and just tips it over. 23-21 Creston. And it's libero Avery Staver back to serve for the visitors. Aubrey Wagner, she hit one into the net there. Now it is set point, 24-21 Creston. With Staver serving. Wagner with the tip at the net. Hanson hits one over for Creston. There's Aubrey Wagner, hits one long, out of bounds. And that will be the match as Creston wins set number 3, 25-21. And that's a 3-set sweep of Creston over the Cyclones. Creston won set number 1, 25-22. They won set number 2, 25-18. And then they won set number 3, 25-21. The win for Creston will improve their record overall 8-8 and in conference play 4-3. Meanwhile, to drop the Cyclones to 14-15 on the season, and in conference play they will be 2-4. Be a big week coming up here next week for the Cyclones. It'll be homecoming, and got a triangular and a couple other home matches coming up for this Cyclone Volleyball team, and a match or two on the road. So we'll see if the Cyclones can bounce back here after this Hawkeye 10 matchup against Creston. This has been Jonathan North on the camera, Bill Mueller on the play-by-play. You've been watching Cyclone Volleyball on HLTV Channel 15, where it's always great to be a Cyclone.